Right now, you're probably lying in a bed. It feels completely normal. But for most of human history, beds didn't exist. People slept directly on the ground, and every night could become a fight for survival. Every sunset brought the same question. Where could they sleep safely? One mistake could cost everyone their lives. That's why the first beds weren't built for comfort. They were built for survival. Scientists believe it all began nearly 200,000 years ago. Our ancestors had no homes. Every night, they searched for a safe place to rest. Some chose caves. Others slept beneath rocky cliffs. But the ground was never truly comfortable. It was cold, hard, and often damp. So people began changing the ground beneath them. They spread fresh grass across the floor. Then they added soft leaves, sometimes even animal skins. Without realizing it, they had created the world's first bed, and archaeologists actually found evidence of one inside South Africa's Sibutu cave. The discovery shocked researchers. The grass was carefully arranged in thick layers. It wasn't random. Someone had planned it. They even chose specific plants, because some plants naturally kept insects away. A better night's sleep changed everything. People woke up with more energy. They could hunt farther, think more clearly, and protect their families more effectively. Sleeping well wasn't a luxury. It was an advantage. But humans didn't stop improving their beds. With each generation, their sleeping places became smarter. Then people stopped wandering and began building permanent homes. Ancient Egyptians lifted their beds off the ground. It helped keep snakes and insects away. Raised beds quickly became a smarter way to sleep. These raised beds were more than just comfortable. They also showed wealth and social status. Most ordinary people still slept on simple mats. A comfortable bed was still a rare luxury. But the idea of sleeping above the ground had already changed history. Egypt wasn't the only civilization changing the way people slept. In Mesopotamia, homes became larger and more organized. Families created separate spaces for sleeping. Simple wooden frames and woven mats became more common. The bed was slowly becoming part of everyday life. Then came ancient Greece. Greeks believed good sleep supported a healthy body and mind. Beds became stronger, more comfortable, and carefully crafted. Soft wool and linen made sleeping far more comfortable. For many people, bedtime was no longer just about survival. The Romans took beds to the next level. They added soft mattresses filled with wool, feathers, and straw. Comfort became just as important as protection. Some wealthy Romans even owned different beds for different purposes. Beds had become part of culture, not just survival. But when the Roman world began to fall apart, everyday life changed with it. For many ordinary people, comfort became simple again. Most slept on sacks stuffed with straw, wool, or whatever was available. These beds were rough, but they kept sleepers off the cold floor. And once again, the bed began to evolve. Medieval homes could be cold, dark, and difficult to heat, so beds became more enclosed. Heavy curtains helped block cold drafts around the sleeper. They also created something increasingly valuable: privacy, because many people didn't sleep alone in private bedrooms. For the wealthy, however, beds became enormous displays of status. Some were among the most valuable objects a family owned, but ordinary families still relied on straw-filled mattresses and simple frames. The same invention could mean luxury for one person and survival for another. Yet the basic idea remained the same: a warmer, softer place to survive the night. As Europe changed, bedrooms began changing too. In wealthier homes, sleeping became increasingly private. Beds grew taller, heavier, and more elaborate. Layers of straw, wool, and feathers softened the night. But comfort still depended heavily on wealth. The rich could sleep on feathers. The poor often slept on straw. And every mattress had one persistent enemy: dirt. Bedding had to be aired, cleaned, and replaced regularly. Then a new age of machines began to transform everyday life. And soon, even the bed would be reinvented. The Industrial Revolution changed how For the first time, beds could be produced on a large scale. Iron bed frames became increasingly popular. Unlike wood, iron was stronger and resisted pests. Homes were becoming cleaner and healthier. Then came one of the biggest breakthroughs in sleep history. The spring mattress was born. It offered support that earlier beds never could. Sleeping was no longer just about getting through the night. People finally began designing beds for better sleep itself. The 20th century accelerated everything. Better manufacturing made comfortable beds available to millions. Mattresses became cleaner, more standardized, and easier to replace. New materials changed what a mattress could feel like. Even space-age technology eventually found its way into the bedroom. Memory foam was developed from research into pressure-absorbing materials. But another revolution was happening inside the human brain. Scientists discovered that sleep was anything but inactive. While the body rests, the brain remains remarkably busy. The bed had evolved from a survival tool into a place for recovery. Today, we know sleep is essential for survival. During sleep, the brain processes memories and information. The body repairs itself and prepares for another day. Without enough sleep, attention, judgment, and reaction time can suffer. In that sense, our ancient ancestors weren't so different from us. They didn't understand sleep science, but they understood danger. A safer sleeping place meant a better chance of seeing the next sunrise. So, generation after generation, humans kept improving where they slept, not because they were chasing luxury, but because better sleep changed life. And the journey still isn't over. Today's bed is the result of thousands of years of human innovation. Every layer exists for a reason. Every improvement solved a problem our ancestors once faced. Protection became comfort. Comfort became science. And science continues to improve the way we sleep. Yet one thing has never changed. Every human simply wants a safe place to close their eyes. That simple need shaped one of humanity's oldest inventions, and it continues every single night. Think about it for a moment. Every night, you repeat a ritual older than civilization itself. The place may have changed, but the purpose never did. To rest, to recover, to wake up ready for another day. That simple idea has survived for over 200,000 years. Few inventions have stayed with us for so long, and every single one tells the story of humanity itself. Tonight, you'll sleep in a bed built by thousands of years of human experience. Every layer beneath you represents another step in that journey, a journey shaped by survival, curiosity, and innovation. From a handful of grass to the mattress beneath you today, the bed evolved because we evolved. And tomorrow, that evolution will continue because humanity never stops searching for better sleep. But every new idea begins with the same simple goal: to wake up safely when the sun rises. And that's the remarkable story of how a simple bed became one of humanity's greatest everyday inventions.